Welcome everyone. Good morning. We are together today to talk about self-confidence. And my intention here is to really make you feel that you have these inner sources. And I also want to teach some simple methods and some simple understanding that can help your life and your business and make it easy. So thank you for all of you viewing this live webinar, joining me here on Zoom. And for the ones I want to say thank you, you are going to watch me from the recording. And here, the special thanks to It's Our Way team to organizing this webinar, to giving me this opportunity here. And this topic is really important and crucial for me, is related with my story. As a woman, is someone is growing in Turkey, and in my country, if you know, my country is a bridge between East and West. And I growing in this kind of society, I always feel as a woman, I need to prove myself more. I need to be perfect. I shouldn't make mistakes. And the reason why we are talking today, there is a confidence gap between men and women. It's not just because of women. It's just because of the culture and the belief system that we are in. So when I'm talking about today, the confidence gap and what we can do for ourselves, we shouldn't neglect the part of the society, because women, when we compare them with men, women don't have less resources than men in inner resources. Even it's proven that women are better EQ levels than men. But what makes us a little bit more frustrated, what makes our increase our self-doubt, is because of the pressure on our shoulders, or the way we think that we need to be capable of doing everything. When I say we have more roles as the days go by. We are trying to be perfect mothers. We are trying to be perfect in the work life. We try to provide the balance, maintain the balance between work life and our business life. We try to be entrepreneurs. We try to raise funding. And at the same time, when we are doing this, we think that we don't have enough room for mistakes like the man have. But this is not the case. So today, my training is for, if you want to feel more confident in yourself, in your shoes, you may have some experiencing self-doubt after a career break. You're an entrepreneur and you have ideas, but you are not have enough self-confidence to pitch to the crowd, to the founders, or you find yourself undervaluing your services as an entrepreneur. and or you find yourself, you have great ideas, everything, you have potential, but you are constantly sabotaging yourself. If you are listening me right now, or you are going to listen me later, just make sure that when you come here, what are your intentions are. Yeah, I always believe if you have right intentions, your right focus, you can achieve everything. You can achieve, if you really want something to do, if you believe in yourself. This is actually the purpose of the training, making yourself to believe yourself more. So I believe that if you have good intentions, that's why it's really important. That's why this is the reason I put this slide here. This is your intentions. But this training in this next 55 minutes is not for someone who doesn't want to take responsibility for yourself. If you are not ready to taking responsibility for yourself, if you are in victim mindset, if you are not committed to take specific actions for change, if there is nothing that you can to change how you feel, think, and how you act. So if you are totally expecting world to give you what you need, it's not a right place to be in. Also it means that your answer that somebody can help you is not a coach. So when I'm working with my clients, I'm working with people who are ready to take the responsibility of themselves. You may not have enough level of awareness, which is fine, but when you are ready to take necessary actions in your destiny, you are here and it's the right time for you. So what I'm going to ask you, interact and participate and embrace challenges. And I am here to provide non-judgmental place. So if you can, please remove all the distractions outside, turn off your mobile, keep it silent. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask me. You can always reach me out, my LinkedIn address, Instagram address, or my email, info@baharselman.com. So please, if you have any questions, come and ask me. Of course, a brief information about myself, what's my story all about. As I mentioned in the beginning, I grew up in a country, and from my childhood, I listened the story of we are a country, bridges between East and West. So it was also, we had mixed beliefs about our rights as women. We have mixed system, mixed beliefs, mixed culture, and somehow polarized culture, how we act and how we behave as women. And so I always have the belief that I need to finish university, be so successful in business life. No, I don't have no room for to have a break, or no room for just try to discover myself. And that's why when you look at my student life, it was pretty good results, and I was a little bit rebellious, but a hardworking kid and teenager. I graduated university 2009, and as an economics student, I did some internships. After that, I realized I didn't want to work either an accountant nor a banker. Then I started my marketing career. I worked 11 years in marketing, fast-moving consumer industry. I am an expert. I work for big brands like Red Bull, Danone, Smirnoff Vodka, and last 5 years for a international diaper brand Molfix, who we were exporting over 100 countries. And all my marketing life, after building lots of brands and seeing what I've seen on my brands, the more differentiate myself from the crowd, and the more confidence I have in the brand, the brand was more successful. So when I started coaching 2015, I was a coachee and I worked with several coaches. And after seeing that, coaching is actually helping to design yourself, even from your values, your mission, vision. And when I look at the branding process, they have lots of similarities with coaching. So, and after seeing the results in my life, 2015 to 2018, to working with some master coaches and to understand what I really want my career accelerated. When I'm saying accelerated, first years of my career, I changed different companies. I was looking for something different, and I was in victim mindset. What coaching helped me in my journey to switch this victim mindset to a mindset where I can take the responsibility of my actions, I can tap into my potential, and I can, even I don't have enough confidence, I came to a point right now, okay, I know my resources and I can reach that self-confidence. So here is the key take. You may not feel sometimes not good enough. Sometimes you feel some fear inside of you. Sometimes you think that you are not 100% believe in yourself, which is true, which can happen. But how coaching helped me in my life, I know how I can use my inner resources, my inner wisdom, my potential. When I need self-confidence, I can create inside. I can create my own self-confidence. I don't need somebody's assurance for myself. So in my journey, why I explain my journey in this from the beginning, my story. In my story, after coaching, after start to see myself like a brand, and after seeing everyone like a brand. So, and after seeing the results, how I can change my life. I would like to help others, teams, organizations to change their life and to remove their roadblocks. So in this, that's why 2020, I established my own enterprise in Dubai as Bahar Selman Coaching, Training and Consulting. I am helping professionals to embrace the challenges, unleash their potential, and create their authentic self-confidence so they can achieve the successful business results they want. And I'm also working with teams and organizations. I create corporate design. I create corporate training journeys for them to survive, not just survive, to thrive in digital world. I have several courses in soft skills. And on top of this, I'm helping entrepreneurs to establish their online brands, and I provide my marketing consultancy services in different areas. But here, I am mainly want to talk about for you how you can create your own self-confidence with ease. So in my life, as I mentioned, coaching helped me a lot, helped me to take my responsibility a lot. We always seek for advice from outside. Not always, but most of the time. We want a magic wand come to our lives. And with this magic stick, we would like to turn into things into pleasant ones. But life is not all about pleasant feelings. It's not all about all the time pleasant moments. Life is usually full of challenges. It's full of challenges. But the point is, how do we see the challenges? What these challenges are going to bring us? So when we look at some statistics, how few people, how women see themselves, how do they act in business life, how are they in salary negotiations, how they show up. We have some statistics, like you can find lots of statistics, but I would like to show you some crucial statistics like that really drive me to do this webinar. And when you look at some statistics, this is a study done by Institute of Leadership and Management in United Kingdom. And 50% of female professionals express that they have self-doubt about their job performance and careers, compared with fewer than a third of male respondents. So we have, this data show us that given that we have the same amount of qualifications with our female peers, we have half of the women have experienced self-doubt. On the other hand, based on the study, only a third of male respondents. And also, when we look at the confidence gap, this is really important. Lots of statistics show that women are undervalue their services, undervalue their labor, we can say. And when we look at the salary negotiations, men initiate salary negotiations 4 times as often as women do, and that when women do negotiate, they ask 30% less money than men do. These statistics are really crucial. And can you imagine, you have this almost same qualifications, you did everything you can, you are competent in your role, right? You have that potential, you have that enough skill set. When it comes to in negotiation for your salary, you are asking for money less, 30% less than men do, and you are often feel embarrassed asking for the money. And at the same time, if you're an entrepreneur and you're a solopreneur, you are going to charge your prices and you are going to value your products. You have a tendency to undervalue your services. This is totally related with, your perception about your self-worth. As women, when we are talking about self-confidence, we need to understand our value. So it's really important. And when we are talking about self-confidence is a really large, big concept. But in order to make it easier for you, I would like to give you some basic definition. I'm not gonna dive into the theory, but I like this psychology dictionary online, based on psychology dictionary online. An individual's trust in his or her own abilities, capacities, and judgments, or belief that he or she can successfully face day-to-day challenges and demands. So we have challenges in our lives, right? As I said. And if I think that, okay, there are challenges and I can, in the future, despite the difficulties as an entrepreneur, maybe I need to meet with more than 100 people to have one sale, or I need to increase my network. I may have a problem to get the required funding, all these things. And if you are thinking all these challenges when you start something, if you find yourself like this, okay, I have these challenges in my life, okay, a little fear inside me, maybe, but if I'm able to say to myself, okay, Bahar, it may take time, but you can do it. You maybe don't know right now how you can solve these problems, but I will find a way. If you are saying to yourself, I will find a way, it means that you have confidence in you. And confidence actually tends to focus our future performance. It seems to be based on past experiences. Anna mentioned that's optimism also. Of course, it's also related with, definitely, thank you, Anna. It's also related with optimism. When we are talking about optimism, it's your Seligman, the founder of positive psychology, learned optimism. I also encourage you, take a look at this concept, or maybe get the book and read about it. And optimism actually is in the center of self-confidence. So, but all these things, of course, self-confidence is related with two things. One is self-awareness, other one is self-acceptance. Self-awareness is always a dynamic concept, my friends. Awareness is not something, that's why I always tell my clients that you can continue coaching, working with a coach. And I encourage my clients and my friends to work with a coach in their lives on a continuous basis, because there is always a room for yourself to increase your self-awareness. And self-awareness is something dynamic, because every day, and I hate when people say you can change. I totally, if I believe in this, I wouldn't be in this industry. Every day, we in our brain, we are wire new paths. Everything you learn, even after this webinar, if we had a chance to scan your brain, we go deep dive and we can see new neural pathways. We call this neuroplasticity. And every day we are learning something new. We create new wires. We create new lines, and all of them is changing what kind of a person you are. So if we are changing every day, and every day we need new level of awareness. So first is related with self-confidence. The foundation is you're increasing your self-awareness. Self-awareness includes your strengths and your development areas, how you see life, and your internalized fears and your hopes and doubts and your belief system, which we are going to come to that point. And on the other hand, the second thing is self-acceptance. People can think that self-acceptance is something like, again, passive. When I'm saying passive, they think that how I can accept myself, even though there are things that I don't like about myself. It's not true. Self-acceptance is accepting what you need to do and what you want to change, and accepting your conditions, what's happening around you. So it's a reality check. This is how I see self-confidence. So for now, I would like to ask you, please use the chat box. Please use the chat box. And if you are listening this recording in your house, in your apartment, if you have pen and paper maybe, or your phone, just write. What does self-confidence mean to you? What does it mean to you, and why is important? Please write in the chat box why self-confidence matters to you. Why do you need to be self-confident? Why is it important for you? Is it important for you to take better decisions? Is it important for you to launch your own brand? Is it important for you? Why is it important for you? In the meanwhile, when you are writing, Anna just said it's empowering and energizes me to move forward. So moving forward, Anna, what's going to happen if you move forward? What are the merits of moving forward? So moving forward, what does it mean to you? Reaching your goals, yeah. So just think about, because as I said in the beginning, the intentions are important. So why it's important for you? For anything that you feel stuck to take action, the reason could be that you may not have enough motivation. To check if you have enough motivation, ask yourself, why does it matter to me? Or why is it important? Here, the question like I ask you, why it's important for you, how confidence will change your life. So Ayan Mohammed, confidence is self-belief, of course, self-belief and self-energy. It's like And I want you to encourage you to pick a metaphor to describe your self-confidence. What self-confidence looks like to you? How does it look like? One of my clients once, when I asked this question, she said that self-confidence is my son, not sun. And I'm saying the sun, not the sun, the sun. My son heats me, it warms me up, gives me the energy, and is the source of my life. So think about a metaphor, your inner self-confidence, your authentic self-confidence. Maybe your self-confidence is your self-love, exactly, your self-belief. It's something is driving you. So, okay, we talk about from the beginning, I explained to you my story a little bit, why self-confidence is important and the confidence gap we talk about. So when we are talking about self-confidence, there are some myths. I will just quickly share with you. The myths are, you can see here 5 myths. They are not right. Self-confidence, if it's an authentic one, it doesn't mean that you are someone, you will turn into someone who's arrogant. Or it doesn't mean that if you are self-confident, doesn't mean that you are going to not afraid. No. Or self-confidence doesn't come by nature, doesn't come, it's not innate. It's not innate. Self-confidence is not innate. You can gain it. You can gain. You know this dilemma, right? Nature or nurture. So self-confidence is something we learn. There are some research, of course, we don't know, but maybe up to 20% or 20% is related with our DNA, but the rest is up to us. So there might be still some nature part, but the major portion, and we have a direct impact on this, how we learn, is about our belief system. So when we talk about self-confidence, please, if you hear someone to tells you that too much self-confidence is not good, or if you are self-confident, if you are not self-confident, you can change it. Definitely you can change it. And you can have some fears, for example, public speaking fear. And I want to share my own experience all the time. I don't know how many times I engage in speaking, and how many times, if I include my corporate life interviews and my last 2 years in coaching and training, I don't know how many, I met thousands of people, I speak in front of thousands of people. And sometimes I was in my own language, sometimes I was in Africa and speaking English to the crowd that I didn't know. I always had some small fear inside me. Even today, before I came here, I had some small fear inside me, but it's normal. It's normal that in the beginning, a couple of slides before, I said, it's related with self-acceptance. So I accept to some degree that I have fear. And I have fear. With accepting that fear, I don't let that fear to embrace my own identity, stop my potential. So I see my fear and respect it. So this is what I wanted to share, these 5 major myths I heard from my clients, people around me, and I'm helping my clients to change their mindset. So everything written there is in this 5. They are limiting beliefs, my friends. When I say this myth, they are limiting beliefs. So self-confidence it's related with our belief system. When I'm talking about self-confidence, I like to use pillars of self-confidence concept. So I want you to think about a situation in the past. You don't feel very confident and you experience self-doubt in the past, maybe last month or last year. Think about the key situation in your mind. You don't need to write it to chat box, but if you are watching this on Facebook, and in your house, the recording, okay? Write a key situation to yourself. You experience self-doubt or low self-confidence at work and in your career, okay? So think about it. Why? Because I'm approaching the rest of the session, I will more focus on the fourth pillar, personal belief system. But I would like you to think about, in order to understand what are the foundations in self-confidence, there are 4 pillars for yourself. 4 pillars are, you need to keep in your mind and how they link to each other and what is the most crucial one, which I'm gonna tell you. So, pillars of self-confidence, there are 4 pillars, my friends. First pillar is competency. This is the level of expertise you have. For example, if you are a pilot, and you know you are a pilot and you need to you have a plane and everything, and if you are applying and somebody has asked you to pilot a Boeing flight, Boeing, you know, what was it, 777, a cabin of full passengers, and your confidence to perform the task should directly relate it to your training and your experience. On a scale of 1 to 10, your level of confidence might look something like this. For example, if you are a Boeing pilot, you know, if you are 10, trained commercial pilot with experience. If it's 8, you trained commercial pilot with limited experience. If it's 5, you think that highly experienced private pilot, maybe you didn't have any experience with big planes like Boeing, you had experience with small jets. If it's 2, an average pilot, a private pilot who maybe have 1 or 2 experiences, or if it's 0, you are an average person with no training or experience. So actually, everything, if you are isolate only think competence factors, it makes perfect sense. So when we just think about the competence, it's related with directly with your experience, and it's related with your training and everything. But it's, you know, it's really impossible to feel confident doing something important that you simply don't know what to do. Or if this something is the crucial, and all else being equal, you will be more confident. For example, skiing. If you are only skilled at snow skiing, if you don't know how to do something, you don't have the enough self-confidence. So first thing is competency. So it means that basically when you start something new, if you're a solopreneur, and if you never did a sales speech before, and if you are the first time going to prepare your business plan, you may have some self-doubt. But once you work with a mentor, a coach, or once you understand it, and if the second time you need to pitch someone, and if you know how to do it, your competency will increases. So when you think about this past situation in the when I mentioned, ask you this key situation that you experience, ask yourself, what was your on a scale 0 to 10? What was the level of your confidence in terms of your competency? So if you are score under 7, let's say, there is a way to increase your in your self in your training. You can have training. You can learn. You can read. And when you, for example, when you first start your career, in your corporate career, your level of competency is low. And the more, as the years go by, your competency increases. So it's something that, when you look at these pillars, it's the one of the basic one, but it's not enough. That's why how we perceive other people, size of the situation, and personal belief system matters. So how we perceive other people. For example, fear of public speaking, stage fright. Most scare themselves by holding a terrifying image of the audience. So in public speaking, for example, how do you portray the audience? If they imagine being in the front of the room, some people are staring at you, maybe some creatures, or maybe these people are superior than you. And if you think that, the others are listening to me are real human beings like me, come there and listening to me, and we are equal in some sense. Or even I'm here, someone empowered speaking as the subject matter expert, and I have things to give this other people. So how do we perceive other people? And ask yourself, think about this past experience. You had self-doubt before. In that particular event, how did you see other people? Did you see them superior than you are? Did you see them someone who can make decisions in the behalf of you? How do you see them? So when you see others, here is very important. Vulnerable human beings, they actually are. Your confidence increases. So when you think that people who are listening to me, especially public speaking, or the people are listening to me are vulnerable human beings. They have flaws, they have imperfections like me. So they have the imperfections and they are listening to me. And I also have some imperfections like we all have. Okay, then I normalize the situation. So this is the second pillar. Third pillar is the size of the situation. So size of the situation is the confidence is linked with the size and the context of the task. The smaller the relative size, the less confidence is required to fill the need. The size and context are subjective. What does it mean? It's also related with your perception. For example, when you think about stage fright and public speaking, when you are a group of people in your friends, you don't have any problem. You may have not any doubts to talk about in front of these people. But when you are speaking 5 people, they're all your friends, and 1 people came outside, and they are the number only increased 1 person, but this second person came there, and you don't feel comfortable around this person. So you just started to feel less confident because of the context has been changed. And the size only increased 1, but context has been changed. Also, it's also related with how do you see that other people. Or maybe you feel comfortable in presenting in Zoom, but when you come face to face, since the context has been changed, and you feel less confident. So also think about the situation that you had self-doubt in the past. So what was the impact of size of the situation? I also want you to think about this pillar. Evaluate yourself. What was your perception about the size of the situation? Does it really matter? So when you think about this third pillar, we are coming to the fourth, and where coaching plays a key role, changing your personal belief system. So when you think about the first component, is totally related with your training and your experience, your skill set, meaning comes from your technical skills. And the second one, how we see other people and size of the situation, they are both related with your technical capacities, but they're also more related with your perception. And the foundation for all of these, your personal belief system. So when I say personal belief system, maybe you may not able to, you are not able to have familiarity with the concept personal belief system. So what belief system means? What limiting beliefs are? What does limiting beliefs? And what does empowering belief? I'm going to explain all of this. Maybe you are not familiar with this jargon, so please feel free to ask in the chat box if you have any questions for these concepts. I will try to make it as understandable as possible. As a coach, as a trainer, I always try to make the things simple and to make it easier so everybody can understand. I don't like fluffy words. I don't like too big sentences so people cannot understand. Maybe it will impress you in the beginning when you listen to me, but at the end you can say, what this lady is talking about. So that's why here this personal belief system is something that we are talking about, mindset, changing mindset. So this mindset, your mindset, is a result of your belief system. And the belief system, you can think about your belief system as a lens. You have a lens, or you have a pair of glasses. So if you're when you think about imagine putting on an imaginary pair of sunglasses that installed a belief lens through you see the world, okay? And imagine looking through glasses with the lens. And you're saying to yourself, I'm a decent and worthwhile person. This kind of belief fosters your confidence for sure. Or if you can say, I have a lot to contribute, and it's another confidence builder. But most of the time, when we are facing with challenges, when we face with criticism, when we face with difficulties, which every day happens to us, all the challenges, if you start to say yourself, your brief lenses are, when your brief lenses are, I can't do anything right, I'm worthless, and your confidence disappears. So maybe it's not as simple as to understand what kind of beliefs you have right now. But if you understand how belief system impacts your thoughts and how it impacts your actions, if you are able to understand this, so you may have more desire to understand your mindset. So understanding your mindset starts from what are your shoulds, what are your can'ts, what are your rules in your life? What is your, what are the set of rules came from your family? What are the things that you accept without judging for yourself? What is your perception? What are your thoughts about yourself? What are your thoughts about your capabilities? How do you see your past experiences? If you are thinking, like, I always did like this, and I end up with like this in a negative way, or you have lots of concerns about how you need to act, how you need to behave. So all they are in condensed in your mindset. And the more limiting beliefs you have, limiting beliefs are simply self-sabotaging beliefs. Limiting beliefs are simply the beliefs they are shrinking your potential, shrinking your performance. Sorry, you have the potential, but shrinking your performance. So this belief system, no matter what, if you have a deep negative belief, can undercut them all and leave you without a hope of success. So Anna, one of our participants, just in the beginning wrote that optimism related with self-confidence is totally related with optimism and empowering beliefs. So I want you to understand when I explain this, all these 4 components, don't forget these 4 components. Whatever you feel, something in you tells you that you are not good enough. And if you are not good enough and if you are not competent, think about all these 4 pillars and look at all the areas. And, go all these 4 areas and rate yourself. If you are competent, how do you see yourself? 0 to 10. The size, context, or scope is within your comfort zone. 0 to 10. You see others involved as real people like you. 0 to 10. And your personal beliefs encourage you. 10, empowering you, encouraging you. 0, not. So when you look at these cornerstones and your scores under 7, take a close look there and ask yourself how I can improve myself. And we have a question: why does self-confidence affect one's personal self-image? So why does self-confidence affect our personal image? It's directly linked with our personal image, self-image, because why we feel low level of self-confidence? Because we don't see our real worth. We don't see our strengths. We don't see our beauty inside of us. So our self-image in our head, something may be not competent, something may be not good enough. So the more deteriorated self-image we have low self-confidence. And the more self-confidence we have, we deteriorate our self-image. So it's a vicious cycle. And the key here, again, our personal belief system. What are beliefs about myself? So what are my beliefs about myself? So how do my self-perception? So just my friend who asked this question, just focus your inner dialogue between and you. If you find yourself comparing yourself all the time with other people, when we are talking about this personal image, most of the time it's also related with body image, for example. People compare, especially women, compare themselves with other women, with other people, in terms of how do they look, how do they act. In corporate world, we always put ourselves in a race with others. So we always tend to compare ourselves to understand our own worth. But what I can suggest you, if you are comparing yourself with others, it is not the right starting point. First, we need to understand our own unique worth. And I'm sure what makes us really strong and confident, starting comparing ourselves, if we really want to compare ourselves, what we were in a year ago. What was my development in last 1 year? What is my progress in last 1 week? What's my progress in last 1 month? So as you track your process, you increase your ability to have a clear view, an objective view for your self-image. And the more you appreciate your own worth, and then you started to have a better understanding in your self-image, so it will help to boost your self-confidence. They are totally linked. It's a vicious cycle if you have negative beliefs. And so we have another question. I hope I can answer this question. Other question is, how do your childhood and adulthood beliefs affect our adulthood confidence? So it's a very good question. When we are talking about our belief system here, it's ingrained our childhood, and you can hear looking at our slides. Beliefs are our brains way of making sense and navigating our complex world. So everything as we recorded when we were child, especially from 0 to 7, our brain was like a camera. We were recording everything. We tried to understand, we tried to create some survival mechanisms because we were small human beings. You can call us drafts, like small human beings, and the adults were the giants, and we tried to survive, and we created some survival mechanisms. We created some automatic behaviors, and that time between 7 to 8 is between 0 to 8. When we were child, we set the foundations of our belief system. And with this survival mechanism, what we learn, they help us when we were child. When we were child, they help us to survive in the giants world. But when we grown up, these survival mechanisms are not helping us anymore. Most of them turn into limiting beliefs. So as you can see, our childhood beliefs, how we grown up, when I call this nurture, what kind of a society we grew, what were our role models, what kind of parents we have, it totally impacted our personality, who we were today. But it doesn't mean that we can change it. But when I mentioned about self-confidence in the beginning, self-confidence is related with your self-awareness. And the more awareness you have, you are capable to understand your childhood, adulthood beliefs, what are limiting beliefs you have. And once you understand these beliefs, you have a chance to change them. So that's why the question is, our childhood beliefs, our childhood upbringing have a tremendous effect today. Who are we? Our confidence level for today. That's why it's another topic that parenting is really important for a child's self-confidence in the future. And that's why when I'm coming to the end of my presentation, you should need to understand this belief system plays a key role in your building of your self-confidence. In your beliefs, the amount of belief you have determines the amount of potential you can tap into. And if you have empowering beliefs, your potential, you can utilize your potential more and more. The amount of potential you tap into determines the amount of action you take. So, for example, if I believe that I'm going to succeed in a sales pitch, if I have this belief and I'm saying that to myself, Bahar, you have all the key traits, all the key knowledge that you are capable of delivering this presentation. So I believe in you. You can receive funds from the investors. If I have this empowering belief, if I think that I'm confident, and if I'm believing that I am competent enough, then I can use my potential more. The more I use my potential, I will take bolder actions. What I'm meaning, if I'm in a presentation, I speak properly. I don't skip any points. When I face with a question, I don't stop. I will answer. If I don't find the answer, I will stay calm and I say, I took my note and I will revert back to you. And my action, I will take bold action. I show up myself. Then the results, of course, I will get more successful results. I will get more satisfying results. So I really don't want you to forget this. This is the belief and success cycle, my friends. So it's an input-output thing. Input is your belief system, output your results. When it comes to the beliefs, these beliefs are how we see the world, how we see the world. And in the childhood, in the upbringing, we may create some beliefs and perceptions about the world and ourselves. But if they are not helping right now in our current lives, so we need to change them. And I want you to focus on this slide before we move on, before we finish today. Our beliefs, don't forget this cycle. Input is your beliefs, output is your results. And what happens in the background? Your perception about world, how you see yourself, how you see things, makes your thought system. Your thoughts is a result of your belief system, is a result of your perception. And no matter you change environments, if there is a problem in your lens, if you change, you can change your jobs, you can change your partners, you can move to another industry. But if you don't change that lens, it's a very low chance that you'll be successful. So you need to make sure what's your perception. How do you see the world? How do you see yourself? How do you value yourself? And don't forget that it's up to you right now, because you are an adult right now. So once you become aware of your thoughts, be mindful about your thoughts, then you have a control over your feelings. You cannot escape some of the feelings, but you can be aware of them. And then your actions are a result of your feelings. Because before an action, you probably felt something like, if you are feeling in the boardroom, feeling frustrated, the way you speak as your action, you probably have low voice and you are looking insecure. You are talking in such a way that downgrading yourself, and the results you will get. So I'm meeting with lots of my clients are coming to me and saying to me, Bahar, I'm 35 years old. Okay. I have 10 years experience. Okay. And I'm not happy in my career. How can I change my career after 10 years? So it's an empowering mindset? No, it's a limiting mindset. So all our shoulds, all our can'ts, all our didn'ts, everything. Don't forget this cycle. Don't forget this cycle. Never, ever forget. Your input is your belief. And to changing your belief system, to changing this equation, coaching can help you. Because in coaching, I don't advise you anything. I don't teach you anything. I'm just asking you questions. I'm listening you deeply. I'm helping you to see your blind spots. And with these questions, deep questions, you have a chance to see what kind of a mindset you have. And this is all about internalizing your own thoughts, and it's all about your self-awareness. So in this framework, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results, it comes from cognitive behavioral therapy. Of course, in coaching, I don't do any therapy sessions and whatever. But when you look at this framework, what it comes from, actually, we are seeing so good results that once we walk through all these steps, once we understand our perception, once we increase our awareness, once we are open to ourselves, we can change our limiting childhood beliefs as well. But first, everything starts with awareness. then taking action. And don't think like just awareness. As you can see, in order to take an action and in order to have a sustainable behavioral change, we need to start from our belief system. If we just go for action, this equation, it's just a sudden change, just a temporary change. So what I am going to want to say to you, if you want to start to change, we must start with our thoughts, and our daily thoughts are influenced by our daily habits. So I would like to wrap up this session from the beginning. Today, I mentioned about you the pillars of self-confidence, why we have the gap, and what are the empowering beliefs, what are the limiting beliefs. And I explained to you this success belief cycle with 4 levels of 4 corners of self-confidence. After this session, when you walk away, I would like you to make this a habit. When you find yourself constantly repeating that, some sentences, I want you to challenge your limiting beliefs. Just be mindful about your limiting beliefs. And I also want you to invite, I think its survey will give you more details, but this is a month of giving away to our community. This is a month that we can come together. And that's why this month I'm providing a 15-minute free consultation. So I will help you in this 15 minutes, where you are, what are your goals, and you will get some clarification, and I will craft you a roadmap how we can work together to achieve your goals and your success in your business, to increase self-worth. And you can also find more programs. I think a survey will share my online store, and you can find this my store. You can find lots of programs. These are just programs I created for specific reasons, for goal setting, self-confidence building, vision board, and your career vision, career goals, and all of them you can find really details. Please go and check my services. You can see how much detail I provide. On top of that, I can also create custom programs for your needs. All my philosophy in coaching is tailored programs, tailored and creating in the moment. That's why I don't advise anything. I don't tell you what you need to do, because you are already capable enough. If I don't believe, if you are not capable enough and you don't have the enough resources, probably I don't choose to coach you. So thanks for all the time. You can reach me out always. My social media accounts, I think you can find them, and we will share with you. You can just basically type into LinkedIn. I'm a very active LinkedIn user, Bahar Selman. Please reach me out if you have any questions, or info@baharselman.com is my email address. You can always reach me out. Thanks for the joining here with me today. Any questions, more than welcome. Thank you so much. It's a lot of things I would like to share with you, of course, today, but just a little taste, and we will come together in other webinars. Thank you very much. It's time for me to give the stage to the ihwcommunity team. Thank you very much.
That was lovely. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Bahar, thank you very much for doing this at such a short notice for us. I think there's a lot to absorb and take away from whatever you've said this morning, for me personally as well. I have a few questions. May I? Do we have time?
Please.
So confidence, I believe, is also a journey in some way, right? And I think everybody has gone through highs and lows. How does one manage the highs and lows and try and keep that confidence from within in a safe space where, you'll be able to function and you're at your best? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. It's a very good question. Actually, you helped me to also cover that part. So, self-confidence is a journey, and depending on you remember the cornerstones, right? Like one is the context. Context always changing, the size of the situation. So, it's very in this even same particular topic. You day to day, you can have changes in your confidence level, and also if you are just don't forget every time you are step out of your comfort zone, you have some shaking your confidence. It's normal. Confidence is a journey, as you put. I really like this. It's a journey, but most important thing is, as I said in the beginning, if I tell myself, okay, I see my fear and I understand my thoughts, that journey beliefs, and okay, so it's going to take away all my identity, or I learn from that fear. Okay, I have this. So how can I help myself? What is my biggest fear here? So if we do this, we can increase our self-confidence in a short period of time. I'm not talking about everybody all the time cannot, as I said, 1 to 10. I don't always feel 1 to 10, even though I mentioned I'm doing this public speaking all the time. Some days I'm starting for myself 6. So I'm asking myself, so you can ask yourself, how do I feel? If I'm feeling like 6 or 7, so how I can increase one level, 2 level. So as you can, it's a journey and it's not something, it's stable. But what is important here, we need to understand what we need that time. So, and self-compassion really help us, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. While you were telling me the grade levels, I was going back to a memory of my own. It was an award competition, an award function where eventually ITHway did win the award. It was the regional award back in 2019, and I categorically remember that I was really not. I don't want to say entirely low on confidence, but just not sure if I was in the right place, especially because the other people who were, competing with us were much more established than us, right? So there was a huge moment of self-doubt, saying that, why am I here? Am I really supposed to be here? Is ITHway really achieved so much, and can we talk about it so much? Those kind of feelings were coming around, and I realized that I had to actually numb or quiet down the inhibitors.
Yes.
And the way to do it at that time was just forget about it, get a high, look pretty, look your best, and try to feel confident from within. And of course, do a few other things that I don't think I can say here. But I just had to really, really pep myself up, and nobody else could help me. It was just from within that it came. There are many, many ways of doing that. And as you rightly said, confidence highs and lows come in at different points in time and in different situations which are not in your control. So my personal experience then was that I just had to mute my inner voice doubting me, and I just had to go there and do it. And that is one of the biggest places where you feel low on confidence, is when you have to talk in a public space, when you have to address an audience, when you have to address a large crowd of people, and when eyes are staring at you to begin your first word on stage, right? So yeah, I totally relate to this. But I think everyone needs someone helping them manage and navigate these lows, because the lows, if you just go down into them, or if you kind of let them affect you for a longer period of time, I think it'll affect everything, won't it?
Exactly. Like we, as you can say, we can have moments or some days that we feel ourselves is a low period, which is we are human psychology, and life is changing all around us and everything is, so we can't control everything. It's ridiculous. We can't control our mind as well, like our thoughts. But what we can do, we can control what we are choosing to believe. So, and we are finding a way ourselves is a low period of time, like your example, that moment, pausing that moment or challenging that belief, when I see that, like, is it really correct? Is this belief who gave me this belief? It came from who was else? Most of the time, our beliefs about ourselves came from our family. We had this kind of question. So the more awareness we bring, the more the courage we have. So once you deal once or twice, that's low moments, then you also gradually increase your self-confidence. Self-confidence is also, as I said, is related with future, but it's based on your past experiences. The more you see positives in your past, the more you try and you prove yourself, okay, I survived that moment, even I thrived. So as you said, next time it happens to you, bam, bang, you pause that moment, you feel it, you go. So that's why, but life is a journey. We always say it, but it's a journey. Confidence, self-acceptance, everything is a journey, and we all need. That's why I encourage my clients working with me or with a coach, someone to help them to organize their thoughts, help them to open a space for themselves to create the future. That's why I always believe in it. That's why I'm a coach, but I started coaching before I was a coachee for many years. Then I started to be a coach. I saw the impact in me, how I can boost my self-confidence.
Amazing. I think there's a lot to learn from you. And I think all of us at every given point in time have had a feeling of being low on confidence. I also want to share that, Bahar, I think it starts with acknowledgement as well.
Yes.
It starts with the fact that you have to acknowledge you are feeling low on confidence. You are feeling low on your abilities, which you've already identified, you've won them, you've conquered them, but you still don't have that. I want to use another word than confidence, but you still don't have that self-belief, if I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
And reiterating that self-belief is important.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for this morning.
Thank you very much.
Very refreshing, very, very interesting conversation and very, very interesting thoughts that you brought to the table. I hope our community at large who's listening in, who will be seeing this recording on demand and who are watching us via social channels have a lot to share with you and have a lot to engage with you on. The links here have been added for your free session, for your discovery call, as well as your own profile. So Bahar's profile is right in the chat, and you know where to reach us. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Have a lovely day in this in this month, especially this special month, Ramadan month. So I wish all of you the prosperity and more confidence as well. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, Bahar.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.